Joey, and then we got 2 judges, Chipmunk and Nathan. Nathan is also our host, so big thanks to them for letting us come out and do this today. Let's get started.
Alright, so today's challenge project is to make a Bowie knife. Here's a bit of an example of one. It's the trophy, but Jim Bowie is popularized, the Bowie knife is popularized by Jim Bowie, and it probably existed in many forms before his time, but was made famous by him as he had a reputation as a knife fighter. And it's a long-bladed knife, somewhere in the 8 to 10 to 12 inches, fairly wide, fairly thick. It can do double duty as a sword, as a hatchet. It'll be wide enough to paddle with, some say, and sharp enough to shave with. So those are the big things. Things of note were a straight back, a thick spine, a clipped point that will be sharpened on the back, maybe not to a knife edge, but pointed, and then a heavy knife and a pommel, usually tilted forward on the top and back toward the handle, and then a fairly basic handle. That was the gist of the Bowie knife.
Contestants, you will be required to make something similar to this. You do not need a pommel in this case, since we are not professionals just yet. But in this case, we do require you to make something like this. Okay?
This is actually the pommel will be here with it. Sorry, I said the wrong word. Guard. Guard. Yeah.
It's fine.
That's right. Now we have the spike, so we have the long end, and we have, you know, the head. So if you were these guys, you're starting to make a Bowie knife, what would your approach be? And you kind of start to pound that into shape.
Right. So the challenge with this forge is that the fire is fairly small area. It's not a long fire, and so they're going to have to manage the heat within the length that they have. So I think the challenge for them is to approach it the most efficient way, and that is to heat the head and work the head down into the tang of the knife. And once they've got the tang worked, then they're going to have to flip it around and work the back part of the blade and then the front part of the blade. If they start with the front part, I think it's going to get too long and they won't be able to get the mid part in the blade, and that will really detract from their efforts to shape the entire length of the blade. So that will be my approach to it.
Yeah, I like the idea of that. I'm fancy, so I'd personally use this end of it and use that as like a bottom of the handle. Pommel.
Yeah.
And I think that would add something to it in some way.
Some balance to it.
I would, like you said, I'd draw it out from the back and come from the front. Like you said, if you do it too much, it would make too thin, not good enough.
Too easy to burn it too. It's been small and you got a heavy section.
Right. So let's see when I just want to go out that well. So that's what my preferred method to go towards. So I like it.
Now that you guys know a little bit of what we're doing, let's get into it. For any of you who do blacksmithing professionally, you know it's a long and tedious process. If we tried to show you all the footage, it would be a super boring video that would be several hours long. So here are just a few highlights and some also awesome slow-mo shots we got.
Yeah, it's doing just like this, and then
Get the curve right.
yeah, he's getting the curve on there. That's looking pretty good so far, guys.
Would you like an update on each of us?
Alright guys, so I'm just going to show you how to widen a
I
blade
need that one. Can I have that one?
when
You can have that.
you are pounding it out. Okay?
So you use the peen, this flat part, and when you hit, it widens it going that way and not that way as much because of its shape. So you go like this. And it widens the blade apart. It widens the blade instead of lengthening it. It would lengthen the blade if you did it like this or like this. It'd widen it a little bit if you use the flat, but if you use the cross peen to widen the blade, it doesn't look as nice. So you have to come back later and pound it with the flat after I heat it up back up again. But that's how you widen the blade.
For those of you who don't already know, the American Dreamers are not blacksmith by any means. We have 3 professional woodworkers on the team, and that is what our normal content is. What we are doing here is for fun and to do something exciting on the channel. This video should not be taken as professional advice. If you really want to get into blacksmithing, we suggest you talk to someone with years of experience and skills to match. With that being said, here's a time lapse of the contestants forging their knives, so sit back and relax. We now have a shot of Emmett quenching his blade. Here it is one more time in slow motion.
Smells bad.
So like motor oil.
Kind of is. Oh wow, what's this? What is I'm gonna drop it in some water now. Take
No.
the oil off.
You do not put it in water.
You can do it when it's cooled.
Oh, okay. I need the
Alright, so we got the blades quenched. We are down here in the basement. Philip was sanding. We're now grinding. And after we got some grinding done, we're going to polish it. And then maybe some wax. Not too sure what else we're going to get done today. But we're going to try and get it all done.
As Chipmunk mentioned, the contestants have started to do finish work on their knives, shaping them, sharpening, polishing, things of that nature. It is important to remember, always keep a steady hand and stay alert. These machines can be very dangerous and need to be respected, as well as the fact that you can always take more off your blade. You can't really put anything back on. So remember to take your time and be careful if you ever do a project like this at home. Safety is something we stress a lot at the American Dreamers, and so should you. Most of the sanding is complete, and the next phase is polishing and light grinding with a wire wheel. This is the last step before they begin working on their handles. At this point, the guys are almost done with their knives. They only have a few finishing touches to add. That will be all for this video. If you want to see the final results as well as the judging process, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Not only does this help support the channel, but it'll also let you know when part 2 comes out.